been searching for a smarter, calmer way to organize your photos, something that brings together everything from your phone, computer, drives, and cloud storage, then let me introduce you to Mylio. It's one of the few tools that doesn't just store your photos, it helps you manage them. And it does it beautifully. Stay with me until the end because I've got a bonus tip that will show you how to turn Mylio into your daily organizing assistant, a 5-minute habit that keeps your photo collection neat, searchable, and totally under control. Install and set up. Let's start right at the beginning, getting Mylio set up. Don't worry, this part's nice and simple, and once you've done it once, you won't need to touch it again. Head on over to mylio.com/download, install the app and open it up. If you're new, create a free account. If you've used Mylio before, just sign back in. Then click the little plus button at the top to start adding your photos. You'll see 4 options. You can add media from this device, which is what you'd use for external drives, USB sticks, or SD cards. You can also add media from online services like Facebook, Google Photos, or Flickr. If you use Apple Photos, you can import directly from there too, including older iPhoto or Aperture libraries. And if you're not quite sure where to start, just choose Guided Import, which walks you through the whole process step by step. Once you've chosen your sources, Mylio builds your library for you, pulling everything together into one central place. The Mylio Interface. Now that we've got your photos in, let's take a tour of what you'll actually see when you open Mylio. Think of this section as your map. Once you know your way around, everything else clicks into place. On the left-hand side, you'll find your main navigation menu. All Photos shows every image in one view. Calendar lays them out beautifully by year and month. Map shows where each photo was taken. People is where facial recognition lives. Albums holds your curated sets. And Folders mirrors your computer or drive folder structure. You can expand this sidebar to filter your view or create quick collections, which is really handy for repetitive tasks. Just below that is the More Tools area, essentially Mylio's control center. Here you'll find spaces which let you switch between views like personal, family, or work. Workflows help streamline the interface depending on what you're doing, whether that's organizing, sharing, or managing files. Tools includes things like face tagging in batches, dedupe, declutter, and quick review. And Dashboard gives you an overview of your devices, sync activity, and notifications. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see photo details and quick actions. Info shows your metadata and flags. Items is where you go for sharing and exporting. And Edit gives you quick fixes like crop, enhance, and rotate. And don't forget the zoom slider on the right that simply adjusts how many thumbnails you see at once. Glossary of Terms. Before we go any further, let's pause for a second and decode some of Mylio's special vocabulary, because once you know these, everything else will make a little bit more sense. Catalog. This is the brain of Mylio. It remembers your tags, ratings, edits, face data without ever changing the original unless you want it to. Folders versus albums. Folders are real places on your drives. Albums are virtual collections inside Mylio. You can have the same photo in multiple albums without duplicates. Vault is a full backup of your photo library, your safety net that keeps everything synced across your devices. Spaces. These are your custom views like personal, family, or private. They let you hide or show parts of your library, which is perfect if you share a computer. Temporary collections. These are temporary groups that you can throw together as a search fast while working, handy for short projects. Live calendar. This is one of my favorites, a visual timeline of your life, automatically sorted by date, so you can scroll through your memories without building folders manually. Searching, filtering, and sorting. Okay, now that you know your way around, let's talk about how you can actually find your photos, because this is where Mylio feels like magic. You can search in 3 ways. There are a few different ways you can search in Mylio. The simplest is just to type directly into the search bar. From there, you can refine your results further using filters like folders, people, dates, and more. Another option is to browse by area, for example, going into folders, albums, or the map, to narrow things down visually. As you apply filters, you'll see them appear along the top. If you want to remove one, just click the little X next to it. No digging around in menus. You can also use Quick Collections. Just click the Quick Collections area at the top, and you'll see some ready-made options already there for you. And if you find yourself repeating the same searches, you can save them as Quick Collections. Just apply your filters and save as a Quick Collection with the name you want, and you've got a shortcut to your favorite views. Photo organizing tools. Now that we've seen how to get around Mylio and find things, let's talk about where the real power lives, the organizing tools. This is where Mylio goes from being a nice photo viewer to a serious organizing system. What I love about these tools is that they all work together, not just cleaning your photos, but you're building a structure. Whether you want to group memories into albums, tidy your folders, create workspaces for different parts of your life, or clean out your duplicates, everything is here in one place. Let's start with the basics and build up to the clever stuff. Albums. The first option is to create albums. To add photos to an album, start by selecting the images you want. If you want to select multiple photos in a row, click the first image, then hold Shift and click the last one. If you want to pick specific photos, hold Command on a Mac or Control on a PC and click each one. Once selected, right-click and choose Add to Album, then select Create New Album. Give your album a name, press Continue, and that's it. To find it again, just head to the Albums section and you'll see it there. Albums are perfect for storytelling or project-based work. Folders. Now for folders, this is where some people get tripped up. You have a couple of options with your folders. When it comes to folders, you've got two options. First, you can create a folder inside your main Mylio library. If you're working inside the default Mylio Pictures folder, just go to Folders view, right-click anywhere in the Mylio Pictures area and choose New Folder. Then type a name and click Create. You'll then be able to choose where that folder sits within your library. If the option is grayed out, it usually means you're not inside the main Mylio library location. So for example, I can't create a folder directly in this computer location, but once I switch back, you can see it appears inside my Mylio Photos library on my computer. The second option is to create the folder outside Mylio. If New Folder is grayed out, just go to Finder on a Mac or File Explorer on Windows, navigate to the same location you've added into Mylio and create the folder there manually. Then head back to Mylio and it will automatically detect and add it to your library. You might just need to wait a few seconds for it to sync. To add photos to a folder, select your images, right-click, choose Move to Folder, select the folder you want, and confirm. Just note, this moves the files into that location. It's not like an album where the photos stay where they are. Spaces. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated tools inside Mylio, Spaces. If you've ever wished you could separate your work photos from your personal ones or have a clean view of just family memories without seeing every random screenshot you've ever taken, Spaces are your best friend. Think of Spaces like a personal view or a workspace inside Mylio. It doesn't duplicate your photos, it simply controls what you see and what stays hidden. That means you can have one giant library of everything you own, but switch between focus views in just one click. When you open up Spaces area, you'll find it under the More Tools menu on the left. You'll see a few pre-made options ready to go. Personal space, this is where all your everyday photos live. It's your normal private view. Family space, perfect for sharing photos like holidays, birthdays, or the pictures you want everyone in the house to access. Workspace, ideal if you're doing client projects or photo organizing work and need a distraction-free space for that. Private space, this one is brilliant. It's locked behind a PIN code so you can keep sensitive or personal photos separate and hidden unless you unlock it. Guest or public space. Great for showing someone your collection without them accidentally seeing things you'd rather keep private. Each space has its own rules and visibility settings. For example, you can set which folders, devices, or albums appear in each one. So maybe your family space only shows your shared drive and your partner's phone, but your workspace only shows client folders from your external hard drive. To manage what each space can see, start by going to the Spaces option in the menu on the left. From there, select Manage Spaces and enter your 4-digit master passcode. Next, click on the space you want to edit, then choose Edit. From here, you can control things like whether a passcode is needed to make changes, which file categories are visible, and what tools and views each space can access. What's great is this is all happening in the same Mylio library. Nothing is duplicated or moves. Spaces simply act like filters layered over your collection. Here's a quick example of how I use it. I keep my personal space for everyday life like running photos, gigs, holidays, and family events. My workspace is just for client projects. That way I'm not distracted by personal photos when I'm in organizing mode. And my private space is for sensitive photos or reference material I don't want mixed into the main view. You can switch between spaces instantly. Just click the drop-down menu at the top or select from the side panel, and the whole layer changes to match that space settings. What I really love about Spaces is that it gives you structure without separation. You don't need to create multiple accounts and you don't have to have duplicate files across folders. It's all one unified library but viewed through different lenses depending on what you need in the moment. If you're watching this and thinking, this is great, but my photos are still all over the place, then you might want to check out my Photo Mess Success courses. They are perfect if you are ready to finally get your photos into one system, create a backup plan that works, and start enjoying those photos again. You can find out more at photomesssuccess.co.uk, and there's a version for both Mac and PC, so you'll be covered whatever you use. Deduplication. Now, let's talk about one of the sneakiest problems in any photo library, duplicates. You know those files that somehow multiply every time you import a phone, copy an SD card, or back up to a new drive. Well, Mylio has a tool built specifically to handle them, and it's called Photo Dedupe. You find it under the Tools section on the left-hand side. Click Photo Dedupe and Mylio will start scanning your library to identify duplicate or near duplicate images. Depending on how many photos you have, this might take a few minutes, but it's worth the wait. Once the scan is done, you'll see your duplicates grouped side by side, making it really easy to compare and decide what to keep. Each group shows identical files or those that are just slightly different, maybe resized, edited, or renamed versions of the same photo. Here's the catch, and it's an important one. You can see duplicates with the free version of Mylio, but you can't actually delete them or merge them unless you subscribe to Mylio Photos Plus. The paid version unlocks full duplicate management, so you can remove extras directly inside the app instead of hunting them down manually in Finder or File Explorer. If you're working on the free version, I still recommend running a scan. You can use the results as a guide. Mylio highlights the file paths so you can go to those folders yourself and tidy them up manually if you prefer. De-Clutter Tool. Now, once you've cleared out those obvious duplicates, let's deal with the other kind of clutter, the I'll just take 5 photos of the same thing just in case clutter. We all do it, the same sunset from 3 angles, 10 nearly identical family shots where someone's blinking, someone's smiling, and then someone's looking the other way. This is where Mylio's Photo De-Clutter Tool comes in. You'll find this in the Tools section just below Dedupe. When you open it, Mylio automatically looks for photo sequences, those little bursts or back-to-back shots, and groups them together so you can review them quickly. Here's how to use it. First, pick your criteria. At the top, you'll see options like Match Aspect Ratio or Match Camera. This helps Mylio group similar shots together, so landscape photos are compared with landscapes and portraits with portraits. Next, adjust the time interval slider. This tells Mylio how far apart 2 shots can be and still be treated as part of the same burst. Move it left for tighter bursts just seconds apart, or right if your photos are spaced out a bit more. Then review the results. Mylio will show each group side by side, making it easy to see what you want to keep. You can tick the ones you want to delete or move elsewhere to review later. If there's too much to go through at once, use the filters to narrow things down, for example by date, so you can work month by month. For speed, you can also use Automark. This is where it gets clever. Mylio uses AI to mark the best shots automatically. It looks for things like sharpness, open eyes, smiling faces, good exposure, and any ratings or flags you've already added. You can adjust how strict it is depending on what you want. But note, this will only work if it thinks any of those criteria are present. Once you're happy with your selections, you've got two options. Delete marked permanently removes the extras you don't need. Move marked sends them to another folder if you'd rather double check before deleting. And if you change your mind, just hit unmark all to reset everything instantly. Here's what I love about the tool. It's not about deleting everything, it's about choosing intentionally. It takes the stress out of sorting because Mylio does the heavy lifting and gives you a clear visual way to make choices. Think of it as digital mindfulness for your photos. You slow down, you look at what's worth keeping, and then let go of the rest. Quick review. Now, if declutter helps you decide which photo is best, Quick Review helps you move fast, really fast. It's one of my favorite Mylio tools because it turns huge photo cleanup into something you can actually enjoy. You'll find it under the Tools section, just below Declutter. If you open it while you're in All Photos, it will start with your newest images. But if you apply a filter first and then open Quick Review, it will only show the photos within that filtered view. When you open it, Mylio switches into a focused review mode, one photo at a time with no distractions. Here's how it works. For navigation, use your arrow keys to move left and right through your photos. Mylio lines them up in order so you can move smoothly from one to the next. To keep or reject images, you can use the menu bar or use shortcuts. Press P to keep a photo and X to reject it. You can also add ratings and labels. Use the menu if you prefer, or just press numbers 1 to 5 on your keyboard for star ratings. These are really useful later when you want to filter and quickly find your favorites. To exit Quick Review, just click the X in the menu. And once you've worked through a batch, you can filter your library to show only rejected or unrated photos. From there, you can delete them, review them again, or just enjoy how much tidier everything feels. Quick Review is the perfect daily delete tool inside Mylio. You can jump in for 10 minutes a day, flick through a few hundred shots, and slowly but surely get your collection under control. It's fast, it's visual, it makes your photo organizing feel a lot less like a chore and a lot more like rediscovering your best moments. Pair it with the De-Clutter Tool and you'll be amazed how much cleaner your photo collection feels and how much quicker you get back to actually enjoying your photos instead of drowning in them. Keywords, smart tagging, and facial recognition. Now let's talk about Mylio's smart side, the part that helps you organize automatically without spending hours typing or sorting. This is where Mylio really starts to feel like your own personal assistant. Keywords. Let's start with keywords because this is the foundation of all good photo organizing. Open any photo, then look to the info panel on the right-hand side. You'll see a section labeled Keywords. Here you can start typing in words that describe what's in the photo. Things like family, holiday, beach, Emma's birthday, or summer 2024. You can also apply keywords to multiple photos at once. Just multi-select your images, open the info panel, and add your keywords there. All of them will update together, perfect if you're tagging a whole holiday or event at once. And here's a really handy bonus. Mylio includes smart tags, which are AI-generated suggestions based on what it recognizes in your photos. So if you've got pictures of a dog, the beach, or a city skyline, Mylio might automatically suggest dog, ocean, or architecture. All you have to do is click the ones you want to keep, and they instantly get added as real keywords. If you're someone who gets overwhelmed by the idea of manual tagging, smart tags are a brilliant shortcut. They give you a head start, and you can just refine them later. Facial recognition. Now let's look at facial recognition, which lives under the People section on the left-hand menu. This is where Mylio automatically groups together all the faces it finds in your collection. When you first open it up, Mylio starts scanning your library quietly in the background. Depending on how many photos you've got, it can take a little while, so don't panic if nothing happens straight away. Once it's finished, head to the People area in the left-hand menu. Here you'll see both named and untagged faces. You can go through the untagged faces one by one if you want. Use the options below each face to either choose someone you've already tagged, add a new name, or ignore it if needed. If you've got a large collection, batch face tagging is especially helpful. You'll find it under Tools, then Batch Face Tagging. This lets you work through lots of unnamed faces quickly. You'll see the face on the right-hand side, and you can approve or reject matches without jumping in and out of menus. Just select a group and use the ticks below to confirm. If everything looks correct, you can accept them all at once. If they don't have a name yet, just add one, but make sure you're confident they're all the same person, because Mylio will assign that name straight away without another warning. It's fast, visual, and honestly, quite satisfying once you start seeing everyone properly organized. And once your people are named, searching becomes incredibly easy. Color tags and ratings. While we're here, it's worth mentioning that you can also apply color labels and star ratings in the same info panel. These work hand in hand with your keywords and people tags to help you sort and filter later. For example, you can mark your best shots with 5 stars or color code all your family events in green. Saving metadata to files. Once you've done your tagging, don't forget this final step. Select all your photos and go to the Photo menu and choose Save Metadata to File. That pushes all your keywords, names and ratings into the photo's actual metadata, so it's safely embedded in the file itself. But keep note that the face tag doesn't save as a keyword, but person shown, and the color tag won't transfer at all, so use it wisely. Exporting and sharing. Now what happens once you've got everything beautifully organized? You'll probably want to share it. If you're on the free version, Mylio keeps everything local, but you can still export. To export your photos, start by selecting the images you want, then go to File, choose Export, pick your format and decide whether you want to include metadata, click Export, choose your location, and your images will be ready to use. Then you can upload to any cloud or share manually. If you have Mylio Photos Plus, you can sync your library to other devices or vaults, like a shared family computer or external hard drive, so everyone's photos stay up to date without the extra effort. It's sharing on your terms without losing control of your originals. But what you can't do yet is share a space link, like share this view or invite to a space. And you can't make collaborative spaces between different Mylio accounts. All devices must belong to the same account. Bonus tip, daily workflow. And now for the bonus tip I promised. This is one of my favorite ways to keep Mylio useful every single day. Follow this simple daily workflow. Open Calendar View and click on today's date. Then spend just 5 minutes doing a quick photo tidy. Start by deleting or rejecting anything you don't want to keep. Next, add a star rating to your favorites so they're easy to find later, and add a keyword or two if something needs context. Once you've done that, use the unrated or unlabeled filter to see what still needs attention. It's a really simple habit, but it makes a big difference over time. If you clear just 10 photos a day, you'll stay completely on top of your collection. No more massive sorting sessions ever. It's quick and satisfying. If you want to see how Mylio stacks up against other photo organizing software, then check out this little video next on how to choose the right photo organizing software for your needs, from simple apps to pro-level options. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more photo organizing tips. Have fun rediscovering your memories. I'll see you in my next video.